part. It's a very subtle kind of inclines and declines. Nothing too bad as yet. It's quite a nice bit of road to kind of get yourself nicely paced for the race. Just making a left turn here down Flanchford Road. This is the first kind of venture into the countryside for this part of the race. Coming down here, it's a little bit residential and there's a few houses you'll notice as well. Not sure how many cars we're going to meet. It's about 5 o'clock at the moment, so it could be quite busy on the roads. Fingers crossed we won't come past too many cars because it does get a little bit built up in a minute. As you know, they aren't able to close the roads down for the run next week, but hopefully that won't be too much of a problem. By 7:30, most of the after work traffic would have dried up and it should be quite nice. And especially if it's a day like it has been yesterday and today, it'll be a nice little run. It was quite hot last night for me, but I didn't go too fast. Took it easy, did it in about 55 minutes. Okay, so we're going down the next part of the road. We're coming up to the 2nd mile marker. That is on the left, just around about now. There should be a little road down here. There we are. On your left is the road. That is pretty much the 2 kilometre marker, I should say, just here now. Very slight declines here. Nothing too bad. Again, you probably won't notice it when you're actually running it. I didn't last night. I was just kind of keeping myself nicely paced for this first quarter of the race. If you're wondering, my iPhone is strapped using my headphones to my rear view mirror of my car at the second. That's how I'm able to video this for you. The wonders of modern technology and a little bit of innovation as well. Roads are quite narrow there. Had to slow down for that vehicle coming the other way as well. Okay, so this is the first big downhill. Quite nice to run down. Not too long, not too bad, but you will have to kind of pace yourself so you don't run away too quickly. Quite a sharp corner at the bottom here, and it takes you into a little bit of a flat and an uphill as well. Again, nothing too bad. Probably won't really notice it too much as long as you've got yourself paced for it. Very dark at the second. It's quite bright today, and this is a very wooded area. Would be nice if you're running in the day. Keep the sun off you, keep you kind of quite shaded. Again, a bit dodgy because of the cars down here. Okay, we're coming up to the 3rd mile marker just there. 3rd kilometre marker just there, I should say. So you're over a quarter of the way through. This is quite a steady decline down here. There's kind of some flats and some downhill bits. It's quite nice. Nothing too strenuous, nothing too bad. Can keep yourself quite paced. I was singing my little heart out as I was running down here yesterday. Feels like something like police camera action, and we're trying to track the baddies down with my little phone, my little camera strapped to the window like this. Okay, so we're just going a little bit deeper into the countryside before we turn around and start heading back towards Reigate now. We are coming up to the 4th kilometre marker, so that will be almost halfway through the race. Still on a very slight decline. I'm not sure if you can see when we're going up and down because of the way it's kind of tied to my car, but this is a very gradual downhill, this part here. Coming up to a bit of a sharp bend at the bottom, a bit of a hairpin this, and this is the 4 kilometre marker just here. We turn left heading back up towards Reigate, and as you'll notice as you come around this corner, it's quite a steep uphill. This is probably the first uphill that you'll notice and you'll find reasonably challenging, so pace yourself for it. Here you go. Not too long, and you are rewarded with a nice little downhill after it as well. They did say it was a hilly course, and a hilly course indeed it is. There's some nasty hills still to come. So just over the brow of the hill there, back down the other side. Nice little gentle downhill after that first testing uphill. Round the corner, past Clayhill Lane. Again, we're on a nice gentle downhill at the second, and this is the 5 kilometre marker. This is just coming up to halfway into the race. Will you be on 15 minutes by now, or will you be on half an hour, probably like me? Did it in 55 minutes last night, which I was quite pleased with. Bear in mind it is such a hilly route. Hopefully I'll be able to do it a little bit faster next week. Okay, this is a very steady uphill, and as you can see into the distance, it is quite a long, gentle uphill. This will probably, this actually sneaked up on me yesterday and affected me more than I thought it would do. It's quite tiring, even though it is quite gentle. You go into a downhill, but this is quite a long stretch of road, this part here coming into the suburbs, and this is where I actually started feeling a little bit tired. I knew as well that there's a couple of hills just coming after this as well, so this really is where you need to start pacing yourself. Take advantage of this very slow, gentle downhill, because like I say, once you get past these little orange fences here, you start going into flat and a little bit of uphill. Enjoy the downhill bits while you can. Very slight incline at the moment as we come into the residential area. Coming up to the 6 kilometre marker now. Just adjusting my phone, make sure the camera's not going too wonky for you. Okay, that's 6 kilometre marker. So I'm used to running in miles, so I get my miles and my kilometres muddled up all the time. Very bad, I know, very unprofessional. I'm trying to dictate for you. Just turning left here. Oh, right, a few minutes. And again, as you can see, or hopefully you can see, this is a little bit of an uphill. Not too bad, quite a gentle uphill, but an uphill nonetheless. Come on, car, out the way. Sorry about this. Can you bear other drivers? Especially when you're running. So inconsiderate. When I was doing this route yesterday, when I was running it, went past a couple of cyclists, no other runners, surprisingly, bearing in mind that it was exactly a week before the race. There's a little runner on the right. Cyclists were very pleasant. Drivers wasn't too bad. They kept their distance when they came past me. As you saw back there, it was country roads. There wasn't any paths to run on, so just keep them to the right-hand side. Just going past the school on the left here. And as we come to the top of this bit of hill, again, slightly inclined. Not too bad. But then that's coming up to the 7 kilometre mark as well. Very slight incline at the moment. But this is where you really need to pace yourself, because we're just about to come up to the steepest hill of the actual course. It's a bit of a nasty one. It really kind of took me by surprise yesterday, not me for 6. But I still ran up it. I was very impressed with myself. But it was an uneven road, this bit. I was on the path yesterday. I'm not sure what the plan is going to be for next week. I know they're not going to close the lanes, which is a shame, because this road here, which we're just turning right into now, is a bit of a nasty one. Very, very narrow for a country lane. Don't know why that car's parked on the corner, very bad. And here we are. Hopefully you can see this, but this is the start of the very steep hill. This is where you'll start feeling the burn. Still going up. Very narrow road, and you're just about to hit the steepest part of the road now. I'm going 30 miles an hour, and I'm in 3rd gear, and my car's starting to struggle. Just coming to the brow of it now, as you can see. You'll be relieved for this. Out of breath. Well done, you've just made it up the steepest part of the course. Round into a nice flat, another very slight incline. You're probably looking at this thinking, oh no, I can't take any more. But it's not too bad, because once you go over this little brow, you go into a nice little gentle downhill. And you've got a nice couple of downhills. That actually is the highest point of the race itself. So although you've still got, we're hitting the 8 kilometre marker. 8 kilometre marker now. Still got 2 kilometres to go. Less than a quarter of the race. But this bit is where you can kind of let the brakes off and see if you can shave a few more seconds off your time. A little bit of an uphill here, nothing too bad, and we go into quite a steep downhill. This is the steepest downhill of the race. I was really feeling it, and on my kind of the balls of my feet yesterday, I was trying to not run too fast down this. You probably can't really realise, but I'm going 30 miles an hour and I'm having to keep my brakes on quite hard to make sure the car doesn't run away from me too much. It is, like I say, a long, steep downhill. Very windy, very bendy. Hopefully we won't cause too much problem for the cars next week, or they won't cause too many problems for us, I should say. Okay, and we're coming back into the main part of Reigate now. We've got almost a kilometre to go. We're just coming up to the second, or the 9th kilometre marker, I should say. The last kilometre is round Reigate Park, round Reigate Priory, which is just coming up on your left. I'll show you where you kind of dip in to go around there. If you can see the white patch on the floor where the flowers or the pollen and